Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on Kraven the Hunter has dropped, the official trailer. And this is, of course, a Spider Man villain. And I guess Sony's trying to just make as many movies as possible about the Spider Universe. I don't know. I don't know if this can work. Russell Crowe's in it. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So it's going to be about the origin of Kraven. Villains aren't born, they're made. Russell Crowe as his dad. Ruthless gangster type. And I think he's also some sort of mutant who gets his superpowers activated when a lion almost kills him. And then he's able to, the lion like bleeds on his wounds, and then he gets some sort of magic powers. And then the villain in the movie, of course, has to be worse. It's somehow the Rhino, which is weird because the Rhino's not a guy who transforms from the comics. He was a guy like put in a superpowered suit. Anyhow, it's coming out in October. Premium formats and IMAX, exclusively in movie theaters. All right. So, is this going to be any good? Well, it's going to be bloody, I'll tell you that. I mean, it looks very action-oriented, bloody. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to me. To me, it's tough to make a movie about a villain. I mean, I don't really want to see this movie unless Spider-Man's in it. If Spider-Man's in it, sure. I'd like to see it. It's like, it's kind of what the comics did. In that, in the world of comics, you would have characters that were so popular, like Spider-Man. They would do spin-offs of them. Yeah, you could do a Kraven miniseries in the comic, sure, no problem. But that was a comic book. It's a little different. When you're talking about a movie kind of has to stand on its own. Comic books didn't necessarily have to stand on their own. They were episodic, more like television shows. So you could look at a miniseries about Kraven the Hunter, let's say, as a special, right? And if you were really into the characters, it would never sell as much as Spider-Man, but it would do okay from the Spider-Man crowd if the Spider-Man crowd is big enough, and it is. I guess that's what they're going for here. I mean, if you bill it as kind of a smaller movie than the Spider-Man movie, maybe it could do okay business, I guess, but you know, I assume Spider-Man's not going to be in it except maybe at the end. And then the other problem with it is Hollywood cannot help itself, right? So what you'd do if this guy was a villain in Spider-Man, you'd probably follow the arc of Kraven. He shows up and Spider-Man beats him, and then eventually you'd maybe do, you know, the supervillain team up, and then maybe you'd do the movie where Kraven, in the comics, this was, I don't know what his current status because nobody stays dead in the comics for long, but there was a cool story arc where Kraven dies, like it's the last battle of Kraven trying to kill Spider-Man or whatever. So, like, you could do those 3 movies, I guess, and make it fairly epic if it tied into Spider-Man. But I think what's likely to happen, if this movie does any kind of business, they're not going to make him a villain. Right? They'll sort of, well, he's a villain, but he's got his own movies. Yeah, he fights Spider-Man, but he doesn't kill Spider-Man. Also, Hollywood tends to have a thing about not hurting animals to like a strange degree, even though this guy's a villain. I don't think they're going to hurt animals. I think he's going to be, it doesn't look like he's really killing animals as much as he's going to be using animals and using their abilities. So it's not quite the same character. The other character was a hunter, and he hunted animals as well. And then Spider-Man was like the top of his list because, you know, the most dangerous prey and all that. Would I watch this? I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, Russell Crowe's a good actor. This guy seems fine. The rest of the cast seems fine. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know, necessary or particularly interesting, because it's an addendum to a character that I do want to see. I'd be perfectly fine waiting for this to show up on a video on demand thing, or I don't know, somewhere like Xfinity for free, or some service for free or near free. And then, when the Kraven character appears in Spider-Man, that's when I'll see it, right? That's when you'd want to go see it. Like, the Spider-Man movies aren't coming out for years. So, by the time that rolls out, unless this is like the biggest movie ever, this movie will be just another movie in a giant content pile on some service somewhere. You'll probably be able to see it for next to nothing. So why go to the theaters? Why spend $14? There's other movies to see. Or nobody's really going to the movies. They're waiting. I'm so far behind on my movie and TV show list, I can just wait until it's free. I'm so far behind on Rick and Morty, I now watch it for free when they run it on Adult Swim, long after it's made its money, allegedly. I'll just watch it for free. Why not? Why not stay 4 or 5 years behind? You can watch everything, almost everything, for free or next to free. It's so much cheaper. There's no urgency in this story. So, first act, it follows the life of Kraven. Again, not super important, but as a kid, his father's some sort of gangster with an accent. I guess he's Russian. Your mother was weak. You cannot be weak. And he takes him hunting, and he doesn't shoot the lion, and then the lion attacks him, severely injures him. The father leaves him for dead, but he somehow survives because, I don't know, he gets some super blood power from the lion or whatever. And then the second act, the rise of Kraven. He gets revenge on his father and his various guys in his organization. One by one, he kills them. I think he has a list. They show it in the trailer. And he's crazy. And, I don't know, he's got a girlfriend who calls him crazy. And he's got a brother. And, like, those are characters. I don't care about any of those characters. But, I mean, the movie can make me care about them. But that's a lot of work. Who they didn't have to make me care about was Spider-Man. If you'd put Spider-Man in this, I'd be like, oh, Spider-Man's going to fight Kraven. Cool. Everything in Hollywood has become so self-important. This wasn't meant to be a separate movie. The climax of this movie, I don't know, he becomes Kraven. Great. And then maybe we get a teaser for a Kraven Spider-Man movie. Great. That's the movie I want to see. So, maybe after you announce the Kraven Spider-Man movie and it's 4 or 5 years later, sure, I'll go back and watch this just to be sort of all caught up. Am I going to go to the theaters? Are you out of your mind? I'm not paying $14 for this. I'm just not. Russell Crowe's not enough. It doesn't look that interesting. It looks fine. But part of the problem is there's no surprise in it. I already know where this is going, or where it should go. If it doesn't go where I want it to go, I'll be mad. And if it goes where I expect it to go, well, there's no need to see it. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for Sony to make this movie. But they'll make some money on it, I guess. I don't know what you could do other than rehabilitate Kraven, I guess. And again, if it's a hit and they do rehabilitate Kraven, I really won't like that. I'll be furious at that. I'm not going to go see Kraven 2 and Kraven 3. Done that. Oh, Spider-Man's hinted at it again. No, thank you. So, it's more of this not Batman concept that Warner Brothers is doing. Oh, here's a not Spider-Man movie. Fantastic. What next? J. Jonah Jameson, the movie. Oh boy, I can't wait to see the origin of him. I just want to see Spider-Man. Can we make Spider-Man happen? I know Tom Holland's a little exhausted, but he is a good Spider-Man. So let's do Spider-Man. I get it. I guess you're going to make some money on this. I don't know. It's tiresome. Tiresome and too much. Tiresome and too much in my view. Not awful, but too much. All right, let's read the write-up. Kraven the Hunter is a visceral story about how and why one of Marvel's most iconic villains, I don't even know if he rates that high, came to be. Set before his notorious vendetta with Spider-Man, Aaron Taylor Johnson stars as the titular character in the R-rated film. I mean, it's R-rated. It's pretty bloody. I mean, it's got that going for it. And I hate to knock it. It doesn't look bad. It's just, it frustrates me. It's like a teaser for a movie that I do want to see. And that's the only, if this was a separate movie, like if you had just done a movie about a guy and called it something completely different, I might look at this differently. But because it's Spider-Man, I'm just here waiting for Spider-Man. So anyway, that's Kraven the Hunter. What next? What next? Spider-Man's Dry Cleaner coming to a theater near you. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Squirmy Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take, I say take it. I'm doing signings, oh my gosh, Thursday at Sunrose Books in Ocean City, Saturday at LBI Book Swap, and Sunday at Car Truck Motorcycle Showdown in Salem County Fairgrounds, and more the week after. See you in the next one.